After waiting 42 days to play their first AFC North game, the Steelers get their second AFC North game in just 4 days. After dispatching of Cleveland Sunday at Acrisure Stadium, the Steelers will travel to Cincinnati and Paycor Stadium to take on the Bengals on Thursday night. Thanks very much for being with us for the matchup presented by Shell Polymers alongside Missi Matthews and Matt Williamson. I'm Rob King. Matt, AFC North victory. The Steelers are 1-0 in the division. They have a comfortable lead as of right now in the division as well. Nice way to start things off.
No question. Their only loss is also to an NFC team. You know, that's great for tiebreakers and whatnot. The rest of the division has been very kind and to the Steelers as well, making things a little easier on them. But I thought it was a great win. I thought they controlled the action pretty much start to finish and did exactly what you should.
It's been almost a couple of decades, unfortunately, Missy, since the Steelers have last won a Thursday night road game. We only have to go back to last year, right? You play an AFC North opponent on Sunday. You beat them, the Ravens. You travel to Cleveland. AFC North Thursday night game. You don't win this year. Similar scenario, different teams. How can the Steelers kind of break through here on Thursday night?
Well, I think Aaron Rodgers could potentially help. The Steelers under Mike Tomlin 2-9 on Thursday Night Football, and as you said, it felt like every Thursday night game was in Cleveland the past few years. But Aaron Rodgers is 13-5 on Thursday night. He has thrown 42 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. So maybe that will be a way to slay the dragon, jumpstart things, and get them going on a short week to get a victory.
Okay, so let's get into our key matchups as the Steelers get ready to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. And Matt, let's start with you. You want to see more Darnell Washington and Spencer Anderson against the Bengals front.
We've seen a lot of it over the last 2 weeks. I'm not sure you can see more. I just want to continue a good thing. And this isn't a knock to Johnny Smith or Pat Freiermuth, but Washington to me is the clear tight end one. I mean, he is such a unicorn in this league that's full of unicorns. He's so difficult to play against. And putting Anderson in the mix too just adds to the beef, the physicality. And he's done great, and we saw them throw out of that situation a little bit more last week. It's not just a running situation, but that's a lot of mass and a lot of power at the point of attack to deal with.
Yeah, it is, and it's good to see the running game going on a couple straight 100-yard games, and as Matt alluded to, too, they use Spencer Anderson in pass protection as well, giving Aaron Rodgers plenty of time to find his targets downfield. So it's interesting, maybe not what we all thought about going into the season, but this jumbo package is something the Steelers have used in the past.
Well, and I think that first play to Darnell Washington, no one was expecting. You're thinking, okay, here they go. They're all in. We're going to see the run. Jalen Warren's back. But I do think, he is a very unique tight end, as Matt had said, just the way that you can use him because of his height. The fact that he can help block and what he's able to do. And Arthur Smith has talked about Spencer Anderson and his basketball background and how that helps him as well. So I agree with Matt. You got to keep going with what's working. And, man, running the ball really has opened things up for the passing game. So it goes hand in hand.
So speaking of the passing game, Missy, let's get to your key. As we tape this on Tuesday, we're not sure. The Bengals haven't taken the field yet for practice, so we don't know whether Trey Hendrickson, who left Sunday's game with a back or hip injury, is going to actually be able to play. But if he does, the last time these two teams played, last December, he had 3.5 sacks against the Steelers.
Yeah, there's a reason why, he was able to hold out, and Cincinnati was like, no, we're going to end up paying you. We need you to come back to this defense. But he is dealing with that back injury. Everything from the national reporters to local people in Cincinnati said there's still a chance that it's more of a day-to-day thing. But I agree. You got to talk about Broderick Jones, the rest of the offensive line, what they were able to do against Myles Garrett in the Cleveland Browns defense on Sunday. You didn't hear much from Myles Garrett, and that is usually a really good thing because, as Coach said going into that game, when he is able to take advantage to wreck a game, that is when you get one-dimensional. That is when things do not go well for the Steelers. So another tough test, and Broderick said it yesterday, it doesn't get any easier. You're playing in the AFC North, so they know what is at hand if Trey is able to go. But like everyone else, I'm interested to see what their practice report says today. And then, of course, the status report before Thursday.
And they might have Shamar Stewart back. They spent a first-round pick on him. A couple years ago, they spent a first-round pick on Myles Murphy.
Yeah.
That hasn't really paid dividends for him. But when you think about Trey Hendrickson, 4-time Pro Bowl, All-Pro last year, led the league in sacks. The team had 36 sacks. He had 17 and a half of those sacks.
Yep.
He's kind of a one-man wrecking crew.
Which is why they've used these early picks on the other defensive ends that have a lot of ability, just not as proven as Hendrickson at this point. He's a great player. I mean, I would have Garrett and Watt just a smidge above him, but boy, the production is hard to argue with.
Okay, so for me, look, we've run the ball, right, behind your jumbo package. We've blocked Hendrickson. That's very good. I like that. So mine is, now let's find DK Metcalf versus high coverage. And if you can force a team into that high single safety coverage, that's going to open things up for DK Metcalf. Aaron Rodgers said as much in his post-game comments, said, look, you start to run the ball, now they go single high, and I think he's going to look for DK Metcalf, I would say, roughly 100% of the time in those scenarios. And we saw DK Metcalf. He actually likes DK, I think we have to go with DK because that's how everybody knows him. 4 straight games now with the touchdown for DK Metcalf.
Yeah, I got a chance to catch up with him right after the game on our radio broadcast, and just the smile on his face that you guys couldn't see when asked about getting comfortable in Pittsburgh and working with Aaron Rodgers. There's definitely something brewing and working well, and as you said, he is just a monster of a player. Why not take advantage in a one-on-one situation? And he finds ways to get open too. And it is good that, Arthur Smith is, the way he's calling games and getting guys like him open, a testament to what they were able to do. I really liked their game planning and scripting for this Browns game.
They have some singular players, the Steelers do. And one of the things I like about Metcalf, you mentioned this with Washington too. When you roll that coverage up and the Steelers want to run the ball, do you really want DK Metcalf blocking you or
Right.
Darnell Washington blocking you? And now good luck covering them as well.
No question. And it all starts with Rodgers, though. You mentioned, versus single high. If there was a perfect defensive scheme, everybody would run it. Every scheme has holes, and he knows them to no end.
No doubt.
And he's always going to attack. There was a lot of talk, why aren't the Steelers attacking downfield? Well, they were getting a lot of too high. Well, when you get single high against the Browns, well, he attacks downfield.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is like, hey, we're playing cover 2, gotcha. We're playing single high, gotcha. We're playing 8, no,
And he's
gotcha.
always going to know.
He's
Right,
always
yeah,
got
yeah,
an answer
right.
for it, yeah, for sure. Okay, we're hoping you have some answers for our predictive game question. Each week you have an opportunity to play along with the rest of Steelers Nation. Here is your Immaculate prediction question. Will Nate Herbig have plus or minus 1 sack? More than 1 sack? Less than 1 sack? Nick Herbig. Did I say Nate? Did I say his brother? His brother, I don't think, will have any.
Probably not.
Nick Herbig.
I like Nick's chance, though.
Will he have more? Yeah, I know. He has been unbelievable. Will he have more than 1 sack? That is yes or no. Thank you for the site edit, Missy, as I got the wrong Herbig out there. But your opportunity is to win a football autograph by none other than Nick Herbig, as you can see there. You see a K there in the end of the
It's
Nick
done a little
Herbig.
bigger, yeah.
But we got the K in there, not the T-E. So Nick Herbig.
51.
And we see the 51. That's kind of a giveaway as well. Up next, a look at Joe Flacco and a potentially explosive Bengals offense against the Steelers D when the matchup presented by Shell Polymers resumes. Get all your Steelers gear direct from the team. Shop the Steelers Pro Shop in-store or online for all things black and gold. You can get jerseys, hats, authentic memorabilia, custom gear, and exclusives you can't find anywhere else. And of course, get the ultimate Steelers game day accessory, the Terrible Towel. Steelers Nation shops here. Get your gear in-store or online at shop.steelers.com. Well, give Joe Flacco the trifecta. He played, of course, many years with the Baltimore Ravens. Then he played with the Cleveland Browns. And last week, the Browns traded to the Bengals. He is now quarterback for his third AFC North opponent. And the second time he will be the quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals. Thanks for being with us once again for the matchup presented by Shell Polymers alongside Missi and Matt. I'm Rob King. And
Rob, you know what? I helped recruit him to next
door.
There you go.
So
He's come to this facility as well.
And remember, he was battling for Tyler Palco for that number one job. He wound up transferring. And again, when you think about him, funny, maybe a black and gold lens. I think the Steelers being successful against him. He was 11-11 as a Ravens starter against the Steelers, so he knows something about winning games against Pittsburgh.
Right, and has played 22 games against Cincinnati, so on Thursday the Steelers will be the highest team with the most games he's played against in his career. But I guess maybe ask Mike Tomlin what he thinks about the Browns trading him to Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah.
And that could open up a topic of conversation.
Yeah, well, it made national headlines. He was befuddled, let's put it that way. You can go look up his comments if you want to get a little further description of that. So I'm going to start with the matchups here. And for me, it's inside linebackers who I think have been fantastic. Peyton Wilson, Patrick Queen, but also Cole Holcomb. This inside linebacker group has been really good. And slowing down Chase Brown is the key for me. Chase Brown, look, even last year with Burrow and the passing game and the way they're going, we're going to talk about that because that's obviously the headline. But Chase Brown was a guy you just had to be wary of. Averaging about 95 scrimmage yards per game. Well, he's way below that this season. 2.7 yards per carry. They have not found a way, Matt, to get him going. And I think if Cleveland's going to be successful, you can't be completely one-dimensional. Brown can hurt you in the running game, and can hurt you in the passing game with his speed as well.
Yeah, he proved that last year. He got a very, very heavy workload with the Bengals a year ago. But they've cut it back the last couple of weeks. And they're the pass-happiest team in the league in terms of just run-pass percentage. So it isn't something they're comfortable with right now.
No, and it hasn't been successful. And you might not want to be comfortable because of the guys you have on the outside. And look, this has been, we've been kind of waiting for this game. I know I have, because when you go out and you get Missi to your matchup, the corners that the Steelers have acquired, this is like number one opponent you're thinking about in getting corners like that.
Well, and I think, it speaks to it as well when Jamar Chase, after their loss on Sunday against the Green Bay Packers, immediately flips it to Thursday night. I get it's a short week and, starts talking about, we know what the Steelers are going to want to come in to Cincinnati and do, and Joey Porter also, responding to some of those comments. But as you said, that's why you bring in Jalen Ramsey. And I know at the beginning of the season, all the questions were, how are they going to deploy all these guys? And Jalen, even Coach Tomlin made it clear, Jalen Ramsey is the number one guy. So if he wants Jamar Chase, he's going to get Jamar Chase. We all want to see him on Jamar Chase. So that's what Jamar Chase wants as well. But you have to give Joey Porter Jr. credit to him coming back with what he played on Sunday. I still just marvel, as Coach T has said, Aaron Rodgers, that Jalen Ramsey injured his hamstring in Dublin, just had the bye week, came in and played the way that he did against the Browns, the 2 sacks, joking, I'm going to tell my kids about this game. TJ Watt, Miles Garrett in this game, and I had more sacks. But he just what he's able to do, how versatile he is, it will be interesting to see. And then also, T. Higgins, you said it. It's not just the Jamar Chase show, but for Jamar Chase and Joe Flacco to only have 12 practice snaps together before their first game because Jamar was sick, so he was able to do, got right back into as if, it was the same quarterback he's been playing with. So imagine that with, an actual practice or two perhaps in this short week. And I think it's going to be something that the Steelers are clearly going to key in on, and it is kind of one of those, grab your popcorn and watch type situations.
And so nice to have Slay on one side, Porter on the other, Ramsey do whatever you want to do with Ramsey, who's such a great player. Andy White, I thought him a future Hall of Famer. He's been spectacular for this team. They really haven't gotten T. Higgins going. He hasn't done much, but Jamar Chase, my goodness, I mean, 4 straight Pro Bowls, 4 seasons, won the Triple Crown last year, received the Triple Crown. I mean, he is just a phenomenal talent.
A phenomenal talent, and easily in the conversation for best receiver walking the planet right now. Higgins is a little bit of a sleeping giant, though. He's a great player in his own right, and unlike what they've been playing with since the Burrow injury, Flacco isn't bashful at all. I mean, at this stage of his career, he's going to put the ball up and have his guys make plays. And Higgins worries me quite a bit in that regard.
By the way,
one-on-one matchup.
I thought he looked better than he did in a Browns uniform last week with like pretty much no practices. They played a Green Bay team. They played him tough. Joseph had a couple of three huge drops for the Bengals. He's their number 3 receiver. But look, you ever look at the record, 2-4, no Joe Burrow. The offense, I thought, looked much better this past week.
I was not very impressed with Flacco in a Browns uniform this year. And I thought, man, what kind of version of him are they getting? Well, he's aggressive and he can still swing it. And much like we talked about Rodgers, he's been around the block and understands how to win stadiums. You know,
You'd like to see him knock down a bunch, which gets us to your key because
it might be
6 sacks, 16 quarterback hits last week against Cleveland. He's played 22 games against the Steelers. He's been sacked 58 times.
Wow, I didn't realize it was to that level, and he's less mobile now than that.
Aren't we all?
That Steeler pass rush is fierce right now, and they're blitzing at a really high rate. They're bringing 5, they're bringing 6, they're bringing Queen, they're bringing Ramsey, they're bringing which singles up the Watts and Haywards for one-on-one blocking. They're exploiting it. Harmon's been a nice addition to the group as well. But Herbert's one I can't get around. I mean, that guy produces at such a high level as a pass rusher. He is phenomenal. And to mix all those guys together, they have more pass rushers than they can get on the field.
Yeah, and they've got it. It's coming everywhere. You mentioned Harmon. 4 half sacks, which means he's been there 4 times.
Someone just beat him to do this.
Right. Or he beat them and the other one climbed out, as I think we just kind of saw. And then he can get his video here. But that's okay, too. And then the guys on the edge, obviously, if you're bringing, both Queen and Wilson have sacks. Deshaun Elliott's got a sack. Jalen Ramsey's had 2. It is coming from all angles. Huge game.
The number of players on that Steelers defense, but I agree with Nick Herbig. There's a reason why Coach Tomlin announced 12 defenders to be announced through the team tunnel. That's not something you just willy-nilly does. That's thought of. It is a sign of respect. We always used to call him Little Herbig when his brother was on the team. Then it became Mr. Herbig when he would get a sack, shake hands, and now it's just expected of him and what he's able to do. But this defense, they're getting healthy. They're having too much fun if you're an opposing offense because they just smell blood and go for it. And it has been great to see since Sunday, having everybody out on the field that you want to have out on the field.
It has been fun to rewind a second here. The corner additions have really opened up the blitz.
That's exactly right. So you feel comfortable with that coverage, which means you can bring the rush, but then you also stop the run better. The last couple weeks forcing him into more obvious passing situations. All of it ended up pretty well. But it's got to work out again Thursday night because you got another game coming up, right? So the 4-1 Steelers will visit the 2-4 Cincinnati Bengals at Paycor Stadium on Thursday night. Kickoff is scheduled for 8:15. For Missi Matthews, Matt Williamson, our Steelers production crew, I'm Rob King. Thanks for watching this edition of The Matchup, presented by Shell Polymers.